In this session, we're going to take a look at the X6 content pack from AdvancedTshirts.com. With the advent of the new performance and increased speed in CorelDRAW X6's ability to handle more complex objects and design assets, we've put together a content pack with over 300 new design assets specifically for CorelDRAW X6. Many of these assets will not function correctly or will simply be too slow back in X5, X4, and X3, but in X6 you'll be just fine with them. We really wanted to get some things together, really help you move your designs to a much higher level and be able to leverage the functionality that we have available in X6 that we quite frankly were lacking back in X5, X4, and X3. So take a look at this content pack. Content pack comes with 200 high-end brushes and 100 high-end seamless design effects, tiles, and patterns. Go ahead and take a look at some simple designs here, and these actually came out of our spring sports pack down here at the bottom of the page. Go ahead and zoom here. Simple track design, something a coach might ask for, pretty basic. But we can take a design like this and use a fill or a transparency to really dress it up and add some pop to it. And really, when it comes to graphic design, your clients don't know what their options are. They might say, well, we just want a team name, track and field design, something with one of the winged feet, and that's all. Well, the coach or the team doesn't know that they have these options relating to fills and effects and looks on their design. So they're just thinking in very basic terms because that's all they know about. But if you have the design assets, you can take a simple design like this, dress it up radically, very quickly and very easily. And we'll take a look at that. First thing I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead, left click, hold down and move this color palette. I'll bring this down to the bottom here just for the tutorial. I want to go with this text select. I want to go over here to fill. I'm going to go to a pattern fill, and I'm going to go to a bitmap pattern fill. And I'm going to come over here. You notice how everything relating to your objects, properties, fills, and things is all in one streamlined user interface in these dockers now in X6. I'm going to come down here and then I'll click on Browse. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to go to my Pro Content Pack. That's the folder you'll see when you extract this. I'm going to go to Content Pack Textures. And as you can see, we've got 100 seamless design effects and tiles, snakeskin, broken rocks, some psychedelic looking things. Here we've got some stars and stripes. We've got some splats, just an incredible number of effects. We've got some flames and different things going on down through the page here. Now let's say I had this design and I wanted to add, we could say go ahead and scroll down some more here, some flames, some metal, some bamboo, and some different things going on down here towards the bottom. Now to add some effect to this, let's go up here and take a look. Maybe I want to come in with something kind of psychedelic like this here. And I could start with that. Actually, I'll go right here with this one and just click on import, and then I'll have a very different look inside the text of my design. I could change my outline color to, let's say, a white, and you can see the look that you have there. Now once you've set up your design with one of these fills, you can also edit and manage that fill very effectively by coming down here to the interactive fill tool, and we'll click on that and you'll see a box show up with the marching ants and some handles on it, and we can change how that fill is applied to that object or text, and you can see how that just changed. And I can go ahead and rotate it the other way if I want and see how that's going to look, and I can zoom in and take a look at this. Now in reality, this color is really not mixing too well with this garment, so I might want to change that fill. So come down here, click on Browse, then we go back to desktop, and I'm going to go to Pro Content, back to my Content Texture Pack, and maybe I want to go with something like a snakeskin or a red snakeskin. I'll click on Import, and that'll bring that in, and then I can go ahead and change the size of that, and now I've got a red snakeskin fill inside of my text, as you can see there, and that looks kind of cool. And I could go ahead and change my outline back to a black if I wanted and probably get some more pop in there. Now if you're working with D2G, this is going to be great. If you're doing screen printing, you're going to have to do some pretty complicated color separations, but we can use these tools or design assets. I'm going to go ahead and copy here. I'm going to copy and paste again, and this time I'm going to fill with black, and going off the black, I'll go ahead and take the outline off. Then I'll go back to my interactive tools over here. I'll come down to transparency, and I'll come up here and I'll click on full color pattern. I'll come down here and I'll click on more, go back to my desktop, go back to my Pro Content Pack, go back to the content textures, and come in here and select something like this, import. And now I've got that effect going on inside that text, but now it's a transparency, so I'll be able to color separate it very easily if I'm doing screen printing. And I can come up here and change my starting point and my ending point. I can also change my fill color on the vector object with that effect and get a really different look, as you can see right there. Now, adding these little touches to your design is what really goes a long way with clients, and we've heard it over and over again if we taught upselling and things like that on the site, that when we start adding these effects and things like this and showing clients their different options because they're not aware of them, they become very interested in perhaps ordering a design that has one or two more colors or has some effects in it. Over here to the right, I've got a blue shirt set up with a simple team logo, track, team name. I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'm going to hold down Alt click again. I'm going to change the fill behind this garment comp to a white. I'm going to go to my artistic medium. We'll take a look at the Thorn Brushes that come with the X6 content pack. These are almost photorealistic. I'm just going to go ahead and left click, drag, and start releasing a line segment here and just bring this up around the garment and let that process. Now you can see the look of this thorn. It's almost photorealistic, incredible detail, and this brush is not going to work well back in X5, X4, and X3, but here in X6 it's going to render in a fraction of a second, as you can see there. And we'll go ahead and zoom in and take a look at the detail on this. And you can see all the detail, and this is actually two colors vector. So you can color separate very easily or change colors on it very easily. Now once I've wrapped this around my graphic like this, I might want to just right click on this and we'll go to Break Artistic Media Group Apart. I come here and click and see if I can delete that line segment I just did. Next thing I'll do is I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to go to my smear tool, but I'm going to go to the attract tool. I'm just going to bring that thorns, pinch that in so it goes to a point. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit less pressure here. We'll bring this down to about 6. And I'll just bring these down to a point right there. And I'll do the same down here. As you can see there, just touch those up a little bit. You can see working with these different tools here in X6 how quickly we can work our way through the customization of our designs. Go ahead and tweak this shape a little bit here, bring this in this way, and I'll do some more of the same down here and kind of just tuck it all in so it flows nicely with the graphic. Now if I wanted to, I could bring this out here just a touch. Now that I've done that, I'll just go ahead and take this and duplicate it over to one side. Go ahead and mirror that. Bring that over here to the other side. Go ahead and select both of these, right click, order, and I'll go to in front of and click on my garment. Now here I've taken a pretty basic design and I've added a very nice realistic touch to it very easily, very quickly, working with the brushes and the new smear and of course the attract tool. I'm going to come over here. I've got another design set up and we'll take a look at some of the flame brushes we have in the X6 content pack. Totally different flame brushes. So we'll go over here to artistic media. Go ahead and click here and I'm going to go to Flames Cool. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here and I'll just pick something, perhaps this flame right here, and I'll just left click, hold down, drag up around through design here and very quickly add a nice flame effect to this graphic. You can see how this flame is set up with some transparency and stuff. Totally different from the flame brushes that we could do in other versions of Draw just because of the amount of complexity we had to deal with relating to vector objects to create these. I'm going to go ahead and double click here, double click and delete this node. Just kind of smooth my line segment out. I want to go back to my pick tool, double click again, make sure I've got this, double click on that, and that'll delete that and remove that. Go ahead and bring this flame over here, and I might want to just spread this down a little bit this way and just kind of arrange these flames so that they're flowing a little bit more with design. I want to grab that node and move this down a little bit right there and just bring that down into here. So nice flame effect there built in, and it really kind of blends into the garment. You can see the softness and the number of objects we're able to use. Very realistic looking flame effects here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a different flame stroke this time and mix it with this one. Let's go back to my artistic media tool. I'll click off. I'm going to come here and click on, and I'm going to come up here and let's see which one we want to work with next. My guess would be probably want to bring this one in. So I'll click on this one. And again, I'm just going to left click here and drag this up around this way and kind of point it right up into there. And we'll see a different look this time with the flame effect. So you can see how that's all blending together. I want to double click on this, bring this node up here so it's up more towards the center and towards that point there. I want to double click here and delete this node and really move this particular. I'm going to zoom in so I can see here. I want to go ahead and arch this up this way and really just kind of mixing these together to get a realistic flame look flowing with our design or our graphic. Go ahead and delete that there. And then I'm going to pull this node right up into here so that flame starts to really mix in with this other flame up here at the top. Just like that. Next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and right click on this and I'll select Break Artistic Media Group Apart. I'm going to go ahead and click off. I'm going to click on the black curve there and get rid of that. I'm going to right click on this. Order, I'm going to go in front of and click on my garment. I'm going to go ahead and get this other flame here. Right click, Break Artistic Media Group Apart. I can see my curve right here and I'm working with complex vector graphics that have hundreds of objects. Right click, order, and I'll go to in front of, and this time I'll actually click on this flame here just so it's in front of the other one, as you can see right there. Now I can see I probably want to send this object, order, and go to in front of and send that to the back of the shirt like that so the flames are on top. So nice flame effects up there. Go ahead and select both of these. Just start moving, hold down Control to constrain, right click one time to duplicate, and then we'll go ahead and mirror. And then we'll right click on this and select order and go to in front of, but this time we'll click on our vector starburst in the background, and now we have nice flames set up in the back of our garment with a very realistic look that's really going to pop. Of course, if I wanted to, I could go back into this with my new smear, twirl, repel, attract tools and do some very interesting customization of the way in which those flames are applied to the graphic. So here in the brush pack with the X6 content pack, we have brand new barbed wire. Go ahead and take a look at some of that. I'm going to click off here and we can come in here and let's take a look at one of these barbed wires. These are almost photorealistic too. And I could go ahead and delete this and go ahead and zoom in here. And we'll get our artistic media tool, and once again we'll come in with some barbed wire, and this time we'll kind of flow a little bit differently, something like this here. Let that process, that should be the flame again, yep. And then I'm going to come here and click on, let's say, this barbed wire. I got to bring that down in size because it's a little bit too big. That's too small, we didn't want to go all the way. And we'll zoom in and take a look, and we can change that out for some of the other barbed wires. Maybe we want to go with this one here. And you can see, just look at how almost photorealistic that is with the highlighting and the shading and the textures of the metal and everything built right into it. And bring that down in size just a bit. And I could come in again, say over here, and just kind of wrap that barbed wire effect around itself, something like this here, and come right down through that design with that and add some cool barbed wire to it. So in this brush pack we have barbed wires, we have beveled stone shapes. I'm going to take a look at those also. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and select OK. And we'll go ahead and delete this here. And let's say we want to add some cool MMA looking stone type effects to the design. You're going to see some things here you just haven't seen before in X6. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to select, let's say, this shape right here. I'm going to left click and bring this up this way here and just kind of roll around that way there. Now you can see what I've got here. I'm going to bring up size on this. I'm going to bring this up to about 8. But you'll be able to see that what I've got here is I've got a texture built into this brush. And to show you just how powerful that is, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to right click here, I'm going to go Break Artistic Media Group Apart. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to click on this brush. I'm going to go to my transparency tool. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to bring the size of that down dramatically, of that texture. Now it's off here to one side, but you'll see where I'm going with this in just a minute. And whenever you see these textures, you can edit them, but take a look at what we end up here. We have almost a photorealistic stone look set up in that brush. I'm going to go ahead and resize this just a bit, bring this off to one side. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this on the other side, mirror that, and bring that back in. And now we're just starting to create a totally off the wall look with like a chiseled stone coming off the garment. Order, I'll go in front of and click on my garment, and you can see the look you'd be able to start to build out with that. So that's your chiseled stone brushes, and we also got, let me see here, I'm going to go ahead here to browse, bones, chains, we've got charcoal, pencil, and paint, and we've got some very realistic looks going on with the charcoal, pencil, and paint. I'll go ahead and go over here one side just so we can take a look at some of these strokes that are available with this pack. And once again, this is exclusively available for X6. I'm going to left click, hold down, create a stroke here, and we'll take a look at some of these different strokes. Got some almost realistic looking pencil looking strokes here, and you can see the difference in some of these strokes, like in this one, and the amount of effects we're able to get in them with textures, like that one there. And we're also going to take a look at, let's take a look at our cracks. Actually, take a look at our Extruded Stars, and I do want to take a look at the Extruded Stars. Go ahead and zoom out. I'm going to zoom in, and I'll go ahead and delete these two chiseled stone brushes, and we'll take a look at the Extruded Stars, and then we'll go ahead and wrap after this. Over 200 brushes, all kinds of different design assets to work with. Go ahead, artistic media, I've got my Extruded Stars here. Go ahead and take a look at this one here. I'm going to click off, make sure I don't have anything selected. Come in here, and I'm just going to start here at the bottom, left click, hold down, and bring that up around like that. Now I'm going to need to fix that, but we can go ahead and double click on that and take a look at this. You've got these stars that are kind of extruded 3D going all the way around here. I'm going to go ahead and lasso these two nodes and delete them. I'm going to grab this node here and delete that, and I can bring this over here, down here. That's actually a node. I want to go ahead and delete that just to smooth out my stars. And we'll go ahead and bring this up this way, and we'll bring this back this way here, and you can see how you can go through your designs with these brushes and quickly create very custom looking distinctive styles and looks for your clients, and really mold the design and the art to your client's artwork. You're really working outside of the realm of dealing with static graphics when you're working with these artistic media brushes. Go ahead and hold down Control, Constrain, and then we'll bring this over here, and we'll right click on that, and we'll select this also, right click, Order, we'll go to in front of, click on our garment, and now we've got a nice star effect going up around our graphic. So we'll go ahead and wrap here, but this is our X6 content pack from AdvancedTshirts.com. Once again, 200 high-end brushes and 100 high-end seamless design effects, tiles, and patterns, exclusively developed for CorelDRAW X6. We'll go ahead and wrap here, and we'll see you in our next video session.